Woo!
Hey. Welcome to Brad and Jerrid talk about an audience and then a movie.
You know how many fans are going to be like, I missed that show.
This...
No,
Oh,
Brad
sorry.
and Jerrid.
It's like, all right, there were some older shows on the site. No, like, I was originally supposed to see this at 7 o'clock, and then that got canceled, so we pushed it back to the 9:50 screening on it. And I'm actually so glad that it got pushed back to 9:50, even though I got to catch a train to Chicago tomorrow morning.
And I got to catch a cab.
Yeah.
To drive it.
To drive me to Chicago.
Let's do it.
Um,
Brad and Jerrid road trip.
Yeah, it's the longest episode yet. So I was like, all right, it got pushed back to 9:50. All right, fine. But we got it. I can already tell you there was a much more fun audience at this one than there was at the 7 o'clock one. Meaning, so we sit down pretty close before it starts. It's fairly crowded in there. I mean, not to where like every seat was taken, but it was fairly crowded. And then just this row of drunk people
sit in front of us
and sit like right in front of us. One of them was wearing scrubs. I hope to God they're not like, I didn't see this movie before I gotta pull a double. Woo! Okay.
And then, of course, there was the girl that was taking Snapchat selfies.
That was the one in the scrubs,
which I photobombed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the lady in the scrubs, and so.
And then we got like.
We got the two sitting behind us. The theater was pretty much scattered of a lot, especially behind us, right behind us, scattered of a lot of, oh God. Oh God.
Don't go in there.
That doll's head just moved.
Oh my God.
The knife is in the head. It's not even so much that, because when you see a movie like this, yeah, you'll get a lot of, holy shit, oh God. But this is like the combination of that and when they are then describing what they just saw on screen. And the girl sitting next to me was having none of this.
Right, I noticed that. I noticed that too.
She comes in, it sits just right.
She even announces, she's like, I'm going to sit by you.
I'm going to sit by you. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Like, weird. It's not that crowded, but all right. So sits right next to me. Actually was doing quite a bit of talking near the beginning of the movie, and then suddenly just got really pissed off that everyone else was doing it. Like, her, like, constantly shushing people was really more distracting than...
Right.
Than the people reacting to the movie.
Although I will say there were times where I wanted to even be like, will you people shut up?
The couple sitting behind, the two kids sitting behind us with the whole pizza to themselves.
Oh God.
They looked like the type of pizza that would take a whole pizza.
Actually, I think they had a pizza each.
That makes much more sense. Yeah, so it by no means that it really ruined the experience or anything for me. It wasn't like the Bye Bye Man screening where like cops had to be called.
Whoa.
That happened. It got a little rowdy in there. We got free tickets though, so that was nice. This wasn't like that level. This was like what you would expect going to see a movie like this at 9:50 at night, and there was drunk people in there, and also like a 9-year-old kid. Did you notice that?
No.
There were some kids like sitting in the back. There were more kids at this than
Emoji Movie.
Well, technically, yeah. I was about to say at Nut Job 2, but no fucking shit. Allison and I were the only ones there at that movie. So, because I saw the first 5 minutes of this movie twice, because when we were here earlier, our screening for it earlier got canceled like 5 or so minutes into the movie. So I also got to see the exclusive scene of it and Stephen King announcing it to us. clearly reading off of cue cards.
Right. I mean, he was like this close, and you could see his eyes just like moving side to side, and it was like,
yeah, he goes like, "This is one of my most cherished novels and one of my favorites." I'm like, "You need a cue card to tell you this?" I'm not sure if I believe you're being genuine right now. You're clearly reading this. Like, this is a long way from. Do you remember the trailer for Maximum Overdrive, the movie he directed back in the 80s, when he was like heavy in his coke days? And he directed that movie, and he also like announced the trailer in front of it. Coked out of his head, and it's great. He's like, "I am gonna scare the hell out of you." No one can do Stephen King but Stephen King. I don't know why I'm making him sound like our Uncle Arthur, but all right. This movie about scary trucks is going to be fabulous. So, but yeah, so I got to see that twice. Probably will see it several more times before the movie. I don't know how many times I get trailers in front of this, but
right.
This was a. You've not seen
I've never seen The Conjuring.
movies, or...
I've never seen the other Annabelle movies. I mean,
the Conjuring and Conjuring 2 are honestly pretty great. Really effective, well done horror films.
Okay.
Annabelle, not the Annabelle movie from a couple of years ago. That one, not so much, at all. Really, it really like of course I'd seen worse, but it was really just not good. This one, actually pretty good. A pretty decent movie. Has a lot in common with like Ouija, Origin of Evil, in a lot of different ways, because I'm pretty sure the evil girl from that movie is also in this movie.
No shit.
Not as the evil girl, but like her friend, the one who threw the doll in the well.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the same girl. So it's like, both movies feature the same actress. Both movies feature a young girl getting possessed. Both movies have a first movie, in this case Annabelle, and that movie Ouija, that are wildly shitty. Ouija more so than Annabelle. Ouija was shittier than Annabelle, but Annabelle was still pretty bad. But both have prequel movies, Ouija Origin of Evil and this one Annabelle Creation, that are actually really good. I'd say Ouija Origin of Evil was better than this, but this was a pretty effective movie. And honestly, being there with an audience that was like a happy medium between like no one there and the bye-bye man cops need to be called audience, honestly, the movie was still maintaining suspense and was scary. And the audience made it like added to how enjoyable it was kind of sitting through.
I guess so. The reactions were pretty funny. I mean,
to a point.
There was, yeah. Like, I remember turning around and looking back at, I think, the point where the doll, like, okay, I guess spoilers.
Yeah.
Where the doll, like, stood up and started walking, and someone in the back goes, "Oh, no, Jesus."
Dude, we knew we were in trouble when, during the Flatliners trailer in front of this, which really, during the Flatliners trailer in front of this movie, when there was a girl somewhere in the audience who just goes, "Holy shit, that's Juno."
Oh, yeah. That was one of those two girls with the pieces.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. I was like, oh, we're in for a ride on this, in this right here.
Oh, God, it's Juno. It's like, oh, God, really?
Like, you go see that Flatliners remake. Fucking Sony. But, no, this Annabelle does do a little bit more in this movie than in the, well, I mean, in The Conjuring, the Annabelle's only in about 5 minutes, but in the Annabelle movie, the previous one, she does a little more in this one than that. I mean, like, it's not like it ever turns into, like, Child's Play or anything like that, where she's just running around and puts electroshocks on the guy's head or some shit. But it, you know, I don't know if this is the case. It kind of does feel like maybe, at least this is what it feels like. It feels like maybe this might have been like a pre-existing script that maybe had the Annabelle doll worked into it. And and maybe that's not the case, but if that were, it would be very easy to see how this would take a script about 60, 70 years ago. It's about this foster home that has all these girls. One of them gets possessed because the dad's previous daughter died and wants to find a host for her body. It would be very easy to take that script and just kind of add Annabelle to it.
And I think that's why, like, okay, so on the way in here, I was telling Brad that I'm kind of over the whole horror genre, because it seems like there's just too many cliches in it. I mean, there's like every movie's got, you know, the slasher killer, of course, and then of course, I mean, but then like
slasher killers, I wouldn't say anymore.
Well, okay, maybe that's like a subgenre or something like that. But like every horror flick's got just about every horror flick's got that whole like, oh, I want your soul kind of thing, and
they do say that in the movie, and right. I was thinking the same thing.
And the you know, the demon has to vomit some kind of putrid thing into your mouth to possess you, and
I agree with that. When those two things happen, also the girl throwing it down the well and then going back to look inside with ears and noise and things like that.
Don't look into the well.
I agree. There are. I honestly wish they would start making slasher movies again, but like we see all the horror movies that come out to theaters, and you do notice a lot of things that happen anymore. Especially, there are a lot of ghost stories now, a lot of demon possession movies, a lot of stuff where somebody gets possessed and it'll show somebody contorting, which this movie
contorting
does.
Is another cliche.
Yeah, this movie does that too. You're right. This movie does have... It didn't really have a lot of stuff that really annoys me, like fake out dream sequence where it seems like something crazy is about to happen and then, oh shit, it was a dream. This movie didn't really have that, and it was gracious with the jump scares. Like, sure, this being the kind of movie it is, there's some in there, but it uses them right. It uses them wisely. It doesn't use them like, again, the Bye-Bye Man or some shit like that. Like, it's not... It wasn't really that cheap with it. Like, it really kind of earned it whenever that was in the movie.
I will say, there was, I think, one or two times the jump scares actually did get me.
No,
it was like... Yeah. Because I was just, like, not prepared for it.
Dude, totally. There were some times, there were times when I was... This is a creepy movie. Yeah. This movie does film that doll really well. Yeah. This is now the third, I think, movie that I've seen that doll in. This movie, it is pretty creepy in this movie. And they do have a nice nod that the actual Annabelle doll that it's based on is a Raggedy Ann doll in real life.
So that's why whenever they handed her the Raggedy Ann doll, the two behind us was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but yeah, I a lot of stuff that you see in this movie, you'll have seen in other, especially recent horror movies, because there are a lot of, again, possession, ghost story, horror movies that's really much, in terms of mainstream, that's really kind of a majority of them now. But it does it well. Like Ouija Origin of Evil. It's still effective. It's still kept me interested. I liked the characters in this movie. It was a well-made movie. The cinematography was really good. It's filmed in like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It looks, visually speaking, it looks way different than the first Annabelle movie did. It's better written than that is. And I see, we see a lot of crap horror movies, especially me and Brian. We go see a lot of crap horror movies that are out. And it's, even though, I've seen stuff before, like, again, the vomiting into the mouth and the things like that. Even with that, I'm like, you know what? At least, like, this movie is still effective. This movie is still working. It's still maintaining a level of suspense, largely because it is a well-made movie. something going on in the chat.
I'm sorry. They're all like making Nut Job sequel.
Are they really? They were doing that earlier too. Yeah. Man, I wish.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Nut Job 69. I nutted or something like that.
I wish I knew that I was gonna wait because we only reviewed the movie in that video. We didn't talk about the trailers, which honestly, usually just Sarah and I do that. But we couldn't talk about trailers, and I gotta tell you about this fucking trailer that we got in front of Nut Job 2. There's a movie that's coming out. It's from the director of Nut Job 1, and it's about this house where there's these like gelatinous troll creatures running through it. Damn. God exists. He's pissed. There's these gelatinous troll creatures.
They're showing Annabelle. Anyway.
And the little girl, it's an animated movie. The little girl knows that there's these like little troll creatures in there. So she gets the help of walking, talking garden gnomes to help her. This movie looks like Romeo and Juliet crossed with Small Soldiers. And the name of the movie, so it's these gnomes going around talking, killing these creatures in this house with this girl who's in there by herself. There's no adults in there. And the name of the movie is Gnome Alone. Yeah! That's coming out to theaters. Gnome Alone.
Is Jason Statham involved?
He was in Romeo and Juliet. Gnome fucking Alone. There was another trailer we got.
That should have been the thumbnail.
We got the trailer for the My Little Pony movie, and I was like, I don't know what audience is going to be in there for this. Like, so we also got the trailer for this other movie about geese that I can't even tell you what that was about, except for there was a part where the goose is in a pig truck, and the pig's bare ass goes against the goose's face, and then it cuts to the title, Duck, Duck, Goose. Like, oh, fuck. Emoji Movie was just the beginning.
Oh, man.
I'm not even going to say that. These look like they'll be better than that. Does this make you want to see any of the other movies?
Maybe. Yeah, Conjuring. I mean, God, I mean, if there's one thing I'm known for, it's being late to the movie party. So, you know, like, it would be good to see Conjuring finally. Excuse me.
Bless you. Same thing happened in the Nut Job video.
What?
Allison sneeze.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it bridges the gap between like this movie and Annabelle, except without like a creepy CGI person coming in at the end, like Rogue One. Did you see Rogue One?
I have not.
Oh, well, spoiler.
Son of a bitch!
No, it, like, once it got to where, like, it was showing the setup for the first Annabelle movie, I had to lean over to you and be like, oh, yeah. This is the first movie.
Wait, so the guy that came in, he was CGI? Is that what you're saying?
No, at the end of Rogue One, there's a character who shows up who kind of bridges the gap between the two. And
gotcha.
Is
and
very much kind of Uncanny Valley looking a little bit. Jesus. But anyway, I recommend seeing this, honestly. If you like the first two Conjuring movies, yeah, you'll probably dig this movie.
I wasn't bored.
No, I'm tired, but that's just because I'm just fucking tired. It has nothing to do with the movie.
I gotta be up in 4 hours.
Oh, dude. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Well, thanks for coming out.
No,
Shit.
No
Especially last minute. But if you didn't like Annabelle, and that is kind of keeping you away from this, it's significantly better. It is. It's way better than that other Annabelle movie. So don't let that keep you away. This is worth a good matinee price. It's a solid film. It's well acted, well made. They do the tension pretty well in this film.
Nut job, nutting to nutting. The last nut on earth. The nut job 500, fuck it. Nut job 115, nothing like a good nut.
I almost wish there was more to say about the nut job, too.
The nutty professor.
Perfect. I almost wish there was more to say about... God, that was actually a fairly short review Allison and I did for it. There's not a lot to say about Nut Job 2, honestly.
Nut Job 25, The Nut Awakens. 50 Shades of Nut Jobs. You guys are fucking nuts.
Nutsy Love Camp. Any other final thoughts about this?
You know, I just wish horror movies could be more creative and think outside the box on what they do. But other than that, this movie, like I said, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and there's plenty of horror movies that do. You might just do that. You just might have to seek out some of the indie flicks. But yeah, no, I agree. It gets to a point where I'm like, I don't really need another like possession movie, but at the same time, like when it's done effective, it's like it still works, and this movie did. So I'm not sure what next week is. So bring back more Nut Job.
Okay, hold on. I will have to say before we go.
Yeah.
Somebody just said, "Let's get nuts."
That is the last line of the Nut Job 2.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That is...
Come on, Jack. You want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. Yeah. That was the last line in that movie.
Oh, damn it.
See ya.